Robert Ingebretson. When I was on the Spinax, I was at TM2. Flew back out to San Diego. Spinax was alongside out there. And I remember getting into San Diego about 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night. So I went down to check in on the boat. The below decks watch met me topside and said, well, nobody's here today that can process you and all that, welcome you aboard. So he took me back to the stern room, pointed me at a bunk, and said, don't open the flash cover because it's somebody else's bunk. Here's a blanket. Somebody will check on you or get you started on Monday. Well, needless to say, I was scared. I don't think I left the stern room all weekend. Nobody around, just the watches and stuff like that. So my first weekend on a submarine was pretty lonely, but at the same time it was getting to know some of the facts of what's going to happen. Nowadays, a new submarine sailor comes on board, they're met, somebody is immediately assigned to them and kind of tutors them along right from the get-go. Back then it was a little bit different. You learned a lot of things by yourself, but at the same time, there was always somebody there to help if you asked the question or asked for help. Where did I go from there? We went up to Hunters Point Naval Shipyard about 3 months, or no, it was about 60 days after I was on board for a short yard period up in Hunters Point. And I think that was a 4.5 month yard period up there, which I was in the seaman gang at the coming aboard, and also I did mess cooking while I was in the shipyard up there, which always is a plus because mess cooking on board is very tight quarters, and I was glad to get that out of the way while we were in the shipyard. Following the shipyard, we went up, left there and went up to the Keyport, Washington, to fire torpedoes and get our fire control system aligned and stuff like that. So I more or less moved right into the torpedo gang after we left the shipyard, and then came back to San Diego. Well, one memorable thing up there was in Bayshon, or where we tied up there at Keyport, the clams and oysters and all that were plentiful. And our captain happened to be from Vashon Island. I think it was Vashon Island. And he loved seafood, so the Cobb was out there just to get a bunch of sailors or whatever to help collect oysters and clams. We always had a lot of fresh seafood while we were there. And the captain also had us shucking them at night, so we had some in the freezer, and he had some fresh ones that we put in the garbage locker and we transported back with us, so we had some fresh oysters and that while we were heading back to San Diego. But from there we just did local ops for a while.